Bagaetsho dumelang. Ke lebogela fa le tsere matsapa gore le utlwelele dikgang tse di ka kwano. I greet all of you, good people, to the universe and all in it. I say to you, God bless Africa. The matter that must be heard today is a matter concerning the security of the Republic. It is a matter concerning the issues that are burning in our Republic, and yet such issues are ignored. Fellow South Africans, we are all equal before the law. We are all equal before the law. Every one of us. If you call me to court, I come to court to uphold my mandate. If you call me in any event, I come in such an event to uphold my mandate. And that fundamental mandate is to uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of our Republic, and promote the unity of our nation and advance that which will advance our Republic. Fellow South Africans, on my shoulders is South Africa. South Africa is defined in terms of the Constitution as a founding value when we, the people of South Africa, recognizes the injustices of our past. Each time we honor those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who work to build and develop our country, and believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united in our diversity. We therefore, through our freely elected representatives such as myself, adopt this Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic so as to heal the divisions of the past and establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights. Lay the foundation for a democratic and open society in which government is based on the will of the people and every citizen is equally protected by law. Improve the quality of life of all citizens and free the potential of each person, and build a united and democratic South Africa able to take its rightful place as a sovereign state in the family of nations. We therefore, in our founding values, define the Republic of South Africa as one sovereign democratic state founded on the following values: human dignity, the achievement of equality and the advancement of human rights and freedoms, non-racialism and non-sexism, supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law, universal adult suffrage, a common voters' roll, regular elections, and a multi-party system of democratic government to ensure accountability, responsiveness, and openness. Contrary to this founding value, the Chief Registrar of the Western Cape High Court in Cape Town, Ms. Ruan David, is doing everything in her power to achieve the opposite of this number one founding value by derogating from the obligations imposed in terms of Section 34 of the Constitution, which provides that everyone has a right to have any dispute that can be resolved by the application of law, decided in a fair public hearing before a court, or where appropriate, another independent and impartial tribunal or forum. Fellow South Africans, the injustices of our past are every day. If in the past 3 minutes I have wronged you, and in the next 10 minutes you report such wrong, that is the past. And in order to deal with the past, or in order for us to recognize the injustices of our past, we employ a book called the Constitution. The Constitution is the supreme law of the Republic. Law or conduct inconsistent with it is invalid, and the obligations imposed by it must be fulfilled. The obligations imposed by it are each and every term explicitly set forth in the Constitution. And when you find yourself in direct violation of any term in the Constitution, it is when we go to court. As the last resort. I am at the last resort. The last resort, which is seemingly employing the skills and abilities that are antithetical or contrary or in direct violations with the obligations imposed by the Constitution. When I tell you that as a person I am in need to address a dispute by the application of law in terms of Section 34 of the Constitution, and you prevent me from doing such, you are in gross violation of the Constitution, an indirect threat of my inalienable rights. Fellow South Africans, this applies to all people who think that they own public offices, to be their respective offices where they will employ their respective emotions towards any other innocent person in sort of service as statutorily provided. I cannot babysit nonsense in public service. I must be rid of nonsense in public service. Ms. Ruan David, I say this to you as the Chief Registrar of the Western Cape High Court. You must uphold the practice directives issued by the Judge President of the court and abide by them. Apply them equally to all persons as and when required to do so. I need not to read your duties or delegations in terms of the rules or the uniform rules of court in that regard. I trust that you know that. But immediately you employ personalities in a professional environment, we achieve a miscarriage of law. We cannot be in a position where when you are told that one is suffering, their children are suffering, and you are at the employ of the upper guardian of the children's rights, yet you deny children to be heard. The children will not speak for themselves, they are spoken for as obligated in terms of the children's rights. We are all parents who have children that they love, that they care for. We are not those particular parents who suck up to bosses and then exploit or oppress other people such that bosses can like us. No. When I tell you that I am in no war with you or any person employed in the registry of the Western Cape High Court, take that to be true. I have a country and its people to serve and defend in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and any person who obstructs me will go to jail for 25 years as obligated by the provisions of Section 104 of the Defence Act. I need not to be specific in relation to your specific attempts, Ms. Rowan David, of ensuring that I do not get access to court. You must desist in those attempts. Otherwise, we shall not be able to go forward together. And forward we must go. The choice is upon you whether you serve this country with loyalty and the patriotism that is required from any other public servant in office, so as to beread the corruption in our country that is delaying our democracy. I say this to you, as I have said in the email before, that I do not want to hurt your family or your dignity or anything that you hold dear by having you removed from office by obstructing an officer in service and defense of the country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law. Everything I have submitted via email or in person is in accordance with the Constitution and the law. I have no interest of having personal difficulties with any other staff members, as is true when you can ask any other security member who I have engaged with and then who has been directed to be hostile with me, arbitrarily or without just cause. I am tired, Ms. Rowan Davis. I am tired of people protecting criminals. I am tired of people sitting in critical capabilities such as your capability as the Chief Registrar of the High Court in South Africa and protecting criminals. I cannot have that in a democratic Republic of South Africa whose supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law is the order of the day. I cannot. That is why I say you must desist in what you are doing. This applies mutatis mutandis to any other person who is involved in the process of torturing me as an individual, maltreating and neglecting or abusing and degrading my children, Nyiko Mangolele and Aluta Songelwa. Those are people with rights, just like your children are. What is wrong with you people? Obstructing the administration of justice against crime of state. Do not do that during the people. Everyone is watching, and then you are undermining that, hey, this person is a peace officer, this person is a father, because you want to please a person who has unlawfully and intentionally misrepresented a lawful fact. Do not do that. Do not put yourself in a position where you yourself, as Ms. Rowan David, you go opposite to the founding values of our Rainbow Nation, which the late Nelson Mandela have said, never, never and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another and become a skunk of the world. Stop oppressing me, Ms. Rowan David. When you find an application coming from me, know it to be true that Sylvester Volane Mangolele does not have a cent because of the deeds of the Honorable Davis J on 14 September 2018, while I was in Pretoria with the Honorable Ledwaba J at the Pretoria High Court. Stop doing that. And you think I am dumb, I don't see what you are doing. You incite people to commit crimes against the state and the administration of justice, to block my applications. Stop doing that. Judges are independent and subject only to the Constitution and the law, not your nonsense that you are doing and trying to stop Sylvester Volane Mangolele in execution of his constitutional duties. You cannot do that. Who are you to be doing that? To a senior officer in the South African National Defence Force who must die for you, your children, your family, and anything that you hold dear. Desist. Desist. And I am glad that this is happening virtually. I say to you again, do as a registrar is required to do, as mandated by the Judge President of the High Court in terms of the direct practice directives. Not in terms of what you had while you were smoking or drinking tea or talking about whatever nonsense that you were talking about in colluding against the Sylvester Volane Mangolele. You must stop that nonsense. It must stop. The incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa must be held accountable in accordance with the Constitution and the law. Simple as that. And all I want from the incumbent President Cyril Ramaphosa is for him to come and uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic, and promote the unity of the nation and that which will advance the Republic as head of state, head of the National Executive, and Commander-in-Chief of the South African National Defence Force. That's all I need from the president. He must come and say, no, in my defense force, I allow my soldiers to suffer when they report crime. He must come and say that. You think that I'm not a person with feelings? You think that I'm not a person obligated in duty to my country and its people as my oath of office. Do not think that. Those who have told you that I am crazy, they are the ones that are crazy. They are the ones that are oppressing your family, your brothers and sister, mother, brother, stepfather, or any other person that you may hold dear in your life, to live and struggle, attempt and strive or go all out for freedom in South Africa, our land, and never have freedom that is inscribed in this constitution. I'm not there to mess your personalities. I did not ask you how did you sleep last night and then any other thing that you have done last night. I have came directly to you in accordance with the Constitution in sort of redress in terms of Section 172 of the Constitution. And you are blocking that, Ms. Ruan Davids, and you think that I don't see it. And any other person who tries to delay this particular matter is blocking that. This matter is like that. It does not change. My name is Sylvester Volane Madala Mangolele. That is my name. Must I change my name now to suit your needs? To babysit corruption, criminal activity and apartheid or misconduct in critical capabilities of state, such as the office of the Chief Registrar of the High Court of South Africa? While an act of parliament in terms of milestone 1 obligates me to arrest the decline in critical capabilities through direct immediate interventions. And you say I'm crazy. All soldiers, did you forget an order to arrest the decline in critical capabilities through immediate directed interventions? Did you all forget that? Did you forget the authority of Parliament in terms of Section 198D of the Constitution, read with Section 2A of the Defence Act? Did you forget that? A simple thing, hey, Mangolelu yakat, Mangolelu yakat, hey, uyakat, hey, mutibe, mutware, muisantronkom, hey, musutleng, hey, make shame of him. I am hungry right now. I do not have my cell phone with me. I do not have money with me. I do not have anything. I have not eaten anything because of this babysitting of misconduct, criminal activity, apartheid. It must come to and stop. It must end. To what end must we go? To what end? To the end where the South African National Defence Force is forced to allow a judge to judge himself? To an end where members of the South African National Defence Force are forced to abandon their inalienable rights in terms of Section 16 and Section 18 of the Constitution? And you say, oh, the incumbent president Cyril Ramaphosa is our president, but you don't know what is the meaning of the president. And when we teach you what is the meaning of the president, you don't want to understand that the president is in terms of Section 83 of the Constitution, the head of state, the head of the national executive. And the only two things that he must do is to uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic in any event. When I call President, come here, asor ke tella President, the good people. When I call mechanic, come here, asor ke tella mechanic, good people. When I call any other professional and say, come here, asor ke tella that particular professional. And asor, I am crazy. I do not go to the South African Human Rights Commission and then seeking issues that are linked to a Chapter 10 institution. I do not. I go to the South African Human Rights Commission as a Chapter 9 institution obligated by law to uphold its mandate and perform it at all times when any other person comes to it. This thing is as simple as like Motwareki Samboroto, Blue Ribbon, for example. At all times when any other person comes to Blue Ribbon sells that person bread. And that bread is distributed accordingly to God's Spaza shop and everywhere up until your table. I am not crazy, fellow South Africans. I am well and sound. I am frustrated as a person because I am led to frustration. And it is not a duty of any public official to lead another to frustration. It is not. Especially in administrative function. Yeah, that will be the frustration that is not administrative wise. Administratively frustrating any individual in the Republic of South Africa is in direct violation of the Constitution and its supremacy. I cannot overemphasize that. However, the reality is that people are proud to go and sleep at night saying, yo, I was talking to Mangolele today and then I took another stance of frustrating him, making sure he doesn't see his children. Mangolele must not even go see his grandmother who is ill, who wants to see him. Mangolele, Rona, we are supporting this crime. Mangolele is locked up in jail for 5 years as it is put on the DOD system. Mangolele is in prison for 5 years. We believe the DOD system, Mangolele is discharged. Yeah. Uko Tronkong for 5 years. Am I in jail here? Good people know. Look at section 105. You are happy to be saluting General Rozani Mwapwanya while he fails dismally to maintain discipline. The first thing that any commander must do, maintain discipline. Maintain discipline. Discipline, General Rozani Mwapwanya. Discipline is equally distributed. And General Mwapwanya I'm the Chief of Defense. I function in terms of Section 14 of the Defense Act in service and defense of my country and its people. Mangolele is not our people. He's not our people. You don't be like that. It's an insult to this national flag. It's an insult to our country and our people to have leaders that are sitting there knowing very well. Mangolele Isogoli is making videos telling us, he is calling us, Rona, we will maintain that he's in jail. Yeah. And we will pay those who made that misrepresentation, because Rona, we support those who operate opposite to the Constitution and the law. Viva! I am General Rozani Mwapwanya. I support criminal activity. Mangolele will suffer. People, they forget that when they serve the country and its people, they serve all more than 60 million people in the Republic, including the foreigners in the Republic. Any other being or thing in the Republic. When a dog is sick right now, I employ the vets to attend to the dog immediately. When somebody is stabbed right now, I employ the hospital to attend to that. When Mangolele requires an action to be taken there on a DOD personal system, I employ HR separation to deal with it immediately. What is wrong with commanding like that as a commander? What is wrong? Do you not have the guts? Do you not have the heart? Do you not have the spirit of Ubuntu wena, General Rozani Mwapwanya? wena Methandi Mudise, wena Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula, would you rather have me die of hunger as a result of administrative functions which only requires a word, and or I have done you wrong? Why do you not call me to court and say, Mangolele, here and there and there and there you did this? Why do you operate in secret behind? But you lie to people. You say we are accountable to all of you, we love all of you, we serve all of you. We serve, it's Mangolele, but we serve all of you. What is that? And you say we must be comfortable. Are you the slave masters who are so intelligent and know each and every term of English but fail to understand that when we say let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land, we actually saying let us live and sokola for freedom in South Africa, our land? You can't make that analogy. No, it comes from Mangolele. Mangolele wahlanya Mangolele. Akihlanyi people, akihlanyi. I am passionate about what I do. I am passionate about my country and its people. I am patriotic. I am the loyalty and pride of this particular republic. I am the last line of defense when all organs of state fail. And you cause me to go home hungry, without money, without a car that I fully paid for. Cyril Ramaphosa, in terms of section 2012A of the Constitution, if you can read, as a person who must function in accordance with the Constitution and the law, you say Mangolele is crazy. You take me to jail. You make my family suffer. You make my grandmother sick, as she is right now. And when I command parliament as a lieutenant commander, what kind of a lieutenant commander who cannot command? When I command parliament, my life, my right to life is entrusted to the nation and the state. It is you, parliament, who wrote that. Parliament, he runs away. Mangolele, we are not going to Mangolele. We are not going to do Mangolele. It is heartful, me dying man. Stop it, and let us lead the country and get it out of the poverty-stricken reality that it finds itself on as a result of your inaction. When you go to Paul's, my prison cell, you will find a thing that is there that I say people are suffering from Ramaphobia. It's a phobia of inaction. You can't take action. The only action that it takes is that of the Land Act of 1913. And you say I'm kidding. Fellow South Africans, this thing is not nice. The aggravating reality that I am going through, if I was a normal person, I would have died a long time ago. The reality is that I am Sylvester, the South African National Defence Force. Vulani, Madala, Mangolele. I do not want to be sitting in a reality where we babysit criminal activity in our country while we, as the people of South Africa, have a recipe to recognize the injustices of our past. Our mother and father have shed their blood for us to have the constitution which we are proud of today. And criminals such as the incumbent Cyril Ramaphosa come and disturb that particular constitution and tell us to imagine. What kind of a president in the state of a national address says people they must imagine a constitution, imagine a constitution. Imagine. You people, you don't listen. I say listening is a skill. And it was true. Because the incumbent president Cyril Ramaphosa, I tell him straight, in accordance with the terms, duly and explicitly set forth in a document which I will show you right now. And I will just only take you to the summary of it. It's 69 pages long. Be pleased just only to hear one page of it, which is a summary of the entire 69 pages. Because it is direct. It is after a thorough research done by a competent soldier. It is not a thing that was done out of you know what and what and what. Good people, I am true to you when I tell you that I am on duty 24/7. You must not imagine. You must live a reality in which the Constitution is the supreme law of our republic. You must not imagine the Constitution as the supreme law of our republic. It is the supreme law of our republic. And I will take you quickly to this particular letter. This letter was received by all these people, all these organs of state. Legal Satellite Office, Cape Town, Lexato. State Attorney on 30 May 2018. 30 May 2018. South African Police Service, I can't see the date there, but then there is ETV also received this particular issue. And then, as you can see there, ETV and JCAT, I think it was for the EFF or the DA, and and then here's the EFF that has received this particular matter. And then this is the South African Human Rights Commission here that has received this matter. And this is also who is this one? Public Protector received this particular matter on that very same day. And then the Office of the Chief Justice received this matter also, and the SABC, to educate all of you as I am doing, received this matter but failed. That's why the SABC owes me 50 million. And to my family, even if I so die, the SABC must pay you 50 million. Just like the South African Human Rights Commission. And then here's the South African Auditor General. And this is the police and all those people that have received the following terms. Executive summary by Sylvester Volane Madala Sly Mangolele to the President of the Republic of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. This is a fairly comprehensive document which is fundamentally an application for leave to appeal the order made by the High Court to evict the first respondent from his official residence by 31 May 2018, where the applicant is the Minister of Defense. It does so by highlighting the prejudice endured by the writer since 2006. 2006 was when I got into an operational environment, just so you know, because I was never asked, what do you mean by 2006? Nobody, even after getting all these letters, they actually defended or said anything about this thing. There's an outcry for help by all South Africans who uphold the rule of law to lend a hand in assisting with the paradigm shift that is fundamentally required to successfully achieve milestone 1 and milestone 2 of the South African Defence Review 2014, thereby arresting the decline and creating a sustainable foundation for future growth to the betterment of our republic, its people, and ultimately the economy that will enhance its inescapable continental leadership role and within the global community alike. Mr. President, Tumamena, all political parties Represent your people as manifested. Chief Justice, kindly uphold the rule of law. National Prosecuting Authority, Standing Committee on Public Accounts in partnership with the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, the Hawks, the herein cited Chapter 9 institution, Surgeon General in collaboration with the Chaplain General, with the continued strong presence and support of all media houses and the SABC as primarily mandated, are herewith humbly and dutifully requested to act in accordance with your respective mandates and hold the DOD to the object of the Public Finance Management Act as contemplated in Section 2 thereto. Primarily therein, emphasis is put on the securing of transparency, accountability, and sound management of revenue, expenditure, assets and liabilities of the DOD, and all that the writer humbly and dutifully must do as the son of the soil of the land of our people is call all to enter into a covenant that we shall build the society in which all South Africans, both black and white, will be able to walk tall without any fear in their hearts, assured of their unchallengeable rights to human dignity, a rainbow nation at peace with itself and the world. Because, black men, you are no longer alone, as Bantu Stefan Biko has said during his eon. Such a statement at this current eon enslaves an African mind to be like a grasshopper that never gets to eat the grapes, albeit their juice wets their lips. As for each, the body, the mind, and the soul have been freed to fulfill themselves. Minister of Defense and military veterans, kindly account for picture 1 on the document. Chief of the South African National Defence Force, Flag Officer Fleet, and other known unwilling witnesses, you are deemed competent and compellable to take a witness stand in court, and in the name of our Constitution, you shall. Defence Force Service Commission, do not decline the arrest now. Kindly arrest it and reinstate the accused back to his office chair. This takes due regard of Section 2C and E and 14I of the Defence Act. In the spirit of Ubuntu and Batupele, the prescripts of Article 9A1 of the Code of Judicial Conduct are observed and requested from all affected parties, including the urgent required response from the Office of the Fleet Public Relations Officer as required by this document. Let there be justice for all. Let there be peace for all. Never, never, and never again, as I am an African, Papa Uteng. Fellow South Africans, this follows an outcry which was made to the President of the Republic in summary. As the President of the Republic, you understand it to be true that you must uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic, and promote the unity of the nation and that which will advance the Republic. Was that not advancing the Republic? The response to that was this.
And you are taking my stuff to where I do not know.
Let me Yes.
Bull, can you hold it for me, please? When I don't think you are an enemy here.
But before that, this is what transpired in that reality. I will bring you back. All the courts, they don't want to take into consideration this evidence. They don't want to see the justice in the evidence. They told themselves that they are not going to listen.
Who's in charge of this whole operation, man?
Sorry for the
Commander
screen
Mseu.
being skewed.
Who's in charge of this whole operation? Yeah, but doesn't the sheriff have the decency to call? Because the sheriff is supposed to have my phone number. If they can't get in there,
It is not in the mandate of the Red Ants to do evictions. It is not.
if I can't answer getting in there, don't they have?
Mr. Mangolela, this is not an appeal, okay?
He says the document is not an appeal, while the document itself, the first line of it, it says this is a fairly comprehensive document which is fundamentally an application for leave to appeal the order. It's not an appeal. It's not an appeal. I did not write that. I did not. This document, it is not saying that, according to this man. And you must understand that this document is written to the president and the courts and every other person that has stamped this particular document.
I was informed by the state attorney, who is also the attorney of the president.
Now, the state attorney who is also the attorney of the president. You need to understand that I will not fight with the state attorney. I will fight with the president as the person who has sent this particular person. And when one is dealing directly with this situation, it's like you will not fight with the police. You will fight with the person that has sent the police to you. And in this case, it is the president, as you have heard.
President, that this is president, that this is of the president, that the president.
You hear?
The president, that the president, that the president.
So the president.
The president, that this the president, that this is the president.
You see?
The president, that this is not an the president, that this is not an appeal. 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 The president, that this is not an appeal.
You understand? So the president says, I did not say this is a fairly comprehensive document which is fundamentally an application for leave to appeal the order made by the High Court to evict the first respondent from his official residence by 31 May 2018. You understand? Where the applicant is the Minister of Defense. Do you get what I'm saying? So, this is what this man is saying, and then I trust that you are following this particular reality as it is, because that is what had happened on 20 June 2018.
And did they inform me that?
I don't know.
Let me tell you something.
If you want to prosecute your own thing,
I'm not prosecuting something.
I'm not going to discuss the matter with you.
No, that's where we come wrong.
Sorry, let's go.
Wait.
And the matter was never discussed with me. It was an issue where the thing is happening exactly the way it is intended to happen regardless of what I say, and that has been the modus of operandi to this particular day. I tell people that I was not there on the 14th of September. They say, yay, you were there. I tell people that I am not in jail as it is on the DOD PESOL system. Is yay, you were there. You are in jail when you are discharged, Mangolele man. They don't want to believe that Vice Admiral Hlongwane did this. They don't want to believe that Bravo Mhlana did this. They don't want to believe that other persons have done what they have done to achieve this particular reality. They don't want to believe that. And all that I have done was to say, President Tumamina. Everybody can remember that. He was saying, Tumamina, I call upon all South Africans. Mangolele humbly comes to you and say, Tumamina, Tumawena, I'm going to take you. I'm not going to discuss the matter with you. You, Tumawena.
I'm wrong. Something.
I'm not going to discuss the
Prosecuting something.
I'm not going to discuss
Something.
I'm not going to discuss the
Something.
I'm not going to discuss
Something.
I'm not going to discuss
Something.
I'm not going to discuss
Something.
I'm not going to discuss the matter with you.
No,
I'm
something.
not going to discuss the matter with you.
No, that's where we come wrong.
Sorry, let's go.
You see?
Wait.
And then this is how it happened.
You don't push me, man. You don't push me, man. Who the hell do you think you are?
And that in there. Why are you taking it?
Those couches, yes. I mean not to say anything.
Wait. I am doing that.
Yeah, take him away.
Take him away. Take that guy away.
Take him away.
Take him away. Oh, we will take him fucking away.
Who are you?
Don't fuck.
Emapin, Moto O.
And all people were looking, sitting there. They all say,
The state attorney.
this is not an appeal.
Yeah.
It is not written that it's an appeal.
The sheriff's role is born. Let me show. No, wait.
Oh, now when you go to court, people they tear your pages like that. And they call security upon you.
They are videoized and ndifuna amaphepha wami ndibone ukuthi ngiyafumana njani. You understand? You are taking my stuff to where?
This is the video that I was looking for.
This is. Can you hold it for me, please? When I don't think you are an enemy here. This is what is happening. Yeah.
No, I'm not supposed.
Just take it.
I'm not supposed to. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. But is it taking?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What is happening here is that the sheriff has come even after an application for leave to appeal has been lodged.
After the application for leave to appeal has been lodged. And when we go to law, and let's go there now, please. The Superior Courts Act. Where is it? Superior Courts Act, let it be you, please. Section 18. For the purpose of subsection 1 and 2, a decision becomes the subject of an application for leave to appeal or of an appeal as soon as an application for leave to appeal or a notice of appeal is lodged with the registrar in terms of the rules. You understand? So, the reality here is that once you have lodged this particular appeal, once you have said this is an appeal, when applying the spirit of Ubuntu and Batubili, and then attending to the needs of the people. This is an appeal. And you were asked, when, as the judge president of the court, to come back on this matter before this whole thing happened. Before this whole thing happened, because when we come here to the very first paragraph, we say in the High Court of South Africa. This is happening where? In the High Court of South Africa. President, the presidency of Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, it is happening there in the High Court of South Africa. Am I not saying it? Am I not saying it? Western Cape Division, in the matter between the Minister of Defense and Sylvester Volare Mangolele and the court of a senior military judge, Sylvester versus Lieutenant, State versus Lieutenant Commander Mangolele, case number 30 of 17. These things are under the auspices of the president, who must uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic, and promote the unity of the nation and that which will advance the Republic. Aye, to advance the Republic. To advance the Republic.
If you want to prosecute your own,
I'm not prosecuting something.
I'm not going to discuss the matter with you.
Something.
I'm not going to discuss the matter. I'm not going to discuss the matter with you. I'm not going to discuss the matter with you. I'm not going to discuss the matter with you.
No.
I'm not going to discuss the matter with you.
No.
I'm not going to discuss.
He's not. And to this day, he didn't. And you see, when this letter was before the 20th of June 2018, it was 23 May. To this day, he's not going to discuss the matter with me. President Cyril Ramaphosa serving every people and then saying to all people, Tumamina, and then those who come and tell him the truth. Nite hosika stekisa Afrika. Tusanke. Funani. Ndzi kombela n'wina vaaki va tiko ra Afrika-Dzonga mi ni pfuna leswaku ni nga gweviwi hi mfumo. Xiyimo xa mina xa vava swinene. Ni kombela leswaku moya wa mina wu nga tshovekeli makumu. Loko ni kombela ku ri moya wa mina wu nga tshovekeli makumu, I asked you already on the 23rd of May 2018 to say, do not further break my spirit. And then I said, these are my fundamental prayers to the Supreme Court of Appeal. To who? The Supreme Court of Appeal, hereinafter referred to as the SCA in terms of Section 172(2)(d) and 1683 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. When we go to those Section 172(2)(d), so that you don't get lost, you see. A prayer, you limit the retrospective effects. I asked them, duly so, 172(d), any person, which was me at the time, or organ of state, which was also me at the time as the defense force, with sufficient interest, I did that, may appeal or apply directly to the Constitutional Court to confirm or vary an order of constitutional invalidity by a court in terms of this subsection. You will see that. Now, we come here. 1683. The Supreme Court of Appeals may decide in any matter arising from the High Court of South Africa, or a court of a status similar to the High Court of South Africa, which is the senior military judge court, except in the interest of labor or competition matters to such an extent as may be determined by an Act of Parliament. The Supreme Court of Appeal may decide only appeals, issues connected with appeals, and any other matter that may be referred to in circumstances defined by an Act of Parliament. Thus, the humble, urgent, and dutiful request for the Judge President of the Western Cape, the Honorable Mr. Yaya John Madlaka Hlophe, to expeditiously facilitate the administration thereto. People, you must remember, I'm a commander, I command people. And in any event, people have a duty concerning commencing with granting the writer an urgent interview at any time, weekends included, as the writer is about to sleep on the streets come 31 May 2018 as per order constituted by your respective Honorable House. I considered to say, Ncedani, ke kopa lona setjhaba sa Afrika Borwa ka bophara, please help me and save me from being publicly lynched as it hurts with an attempt to decay my soul, thus decaying the land such a soul exists in, and ensuring ukuthi uMangolele does not answer the Tumamina call. Bathi uyadelela, and they forget that I am an African. I am born of the people of the continent of Africa. The pain of the violent conflict that the people of Liberia, Somalia, the Sudan, Burundi, and Algeria is a pain I also bear. The dismal shame of poverty, suffering, and human degradation of my continent is a blight that we share. The blight on our happiness that derives from this and from our drift to the periphery of the ordering of human affairs leaves us in a persistent shadow of despair. This is a savage road to which nobody should be condemned. Without engaging further into these matters, the savage road to which nobody should be condemned, when I say let's talk about it, President, he says
That's where we come. No, that's where we.
I'm not going to discuss the matter with you.
No,
I'm not going to discuss the matter with you. I'm not going to discuss the matter with you.
No, that's where. If they.
Mangolele, this is not an informed by the state attorney, who is also the attorney of the president, that this is not an appeal. President, that this is not an appeal. President, that
You don't push me.
Don't touch my guy.
You don't push.
you don't push me, man. Put that on your
you
TV.
see. So you've seen that already. And then we are here.
People, the existence of this document.
You see this
It
existence.
has been known that I am not a lawyer. I am just a normal person who is currently his own lawyer at this particular point in time. With that being said, you are sitting in a position where this thing, the first sentence of it, which is the beginning part of this particular document, it says, this is an fairly comprehensive document.
You see,
Fundamental.
and I was being taken pictures, say, with the humiliation, to show people that this is how we deal with people who follow the law. Hey, good people. And I looked at it and then I said, hey, but anyway.
An application for leave to appeal the order made by the High Court to evict the first respondent. Now, you tell me if this is an affidavit having the stamps of all these particular official places. The chief of SANDF, who is Inkwenkwe, has sent these people and said to them that, listen, go and do this particular thing to Mangolele. Look at how my furniture is being treated at this particular point in time. This was my before situation, this is my after situation. Look at how my things are being done. This is how this matter is being handled. And then to tell you the truth, it is not nice. I don't even know where is other things that I have. I don't know where they are putting them. This is the real situation as it happened. I went out in the morning only to come back to this particular state. I do not know what is happening. So, the law, the way it stands, that's the story. That is the story. This is what had happened. And this is the man who's been sent by the court to come and then do this thing. And he says this document to him means nothing, so that he needs to do this thing. Thank you guys. Let's see what is happening to here furthermore.
So that is what happened in that day. And then the result of that particular day is the picture that you know, that many of you know. And I want to show you something before we rush into other things.
The South African National Defence Force, General Solishoke, Tshekabontolobela Chaka, Peterame Mangolele, Sylvester Voladi, if you do not know for that matter. What kind of a boss are you who does not do his job? Why do we spend sleepless nights doing our job trying to protect this South Africa, and you are sitting there in your own office not doing your job? We call upon you to come and do your job. I, myself, call upon you to come and do your job. I'm not scared of you. I'm a man, and I hope you are, unless we inquire. And I hope you are, unless we inquire. Unless we inquire, 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 unless we inquire,
Unless
continue sitting and ignore this. Continue sitting and ignore, where you'll continue sitting and if we inquire, where you'll if we inquire, where you'll continue, 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 if we inquire, where you'll 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 if we inquire, if we inquire, if we inquire, where if we inquire, if we inquire, where you'll continue sitting and ignore this video. The same applies go.
you will continue sitting and ignore this video. You will continue sitting and ignore this video. That's what he did. He ignored the video and then he confused the issue of unless we inquire, unless we inquire. Yeah, let us act outside the law. Yeah, we're not even going to call him. We are not even going to do this. And then now let us do this particular thing. This is how these things tie in together. You understand? And then in this particular reality, it is when one would understand that there are these particular letters that are at play. I will show you those particular letters now, while this particular thing is still fresh, because a lot of you get very confused by this matter. What was I? Aha. Where are these things? And I will show you the eviction order, judgment of it also in due course, but I'm still looking for what I'm looking for here, which is the letters. Where is this? I'm looking for the letters from bear with me, please. Where are these letters? And then we have a freeze on the best interest. And while we are here, let me just take you all organs of state. You see the application of the Children's Act. All organs of state in any sphere of government and all officials, employees and representatives of an organ of state must respect, protect and promote the rights of children contained in this act. Everybody. The provision of this act binds both natural or juristic persons to the extent that it is applicable, taking into account the nature of the right and the nature of any duty of the right. Then they say, no, your children Mangolele will be living here. But in any event, I wanted to bring you to this, and then I will...
goes to the chaplain general, who must do his job and is not doing his job. My grandmother is suffering there because you, chaplain general, are sitting not doing your job. Same applies to you, the SABC. As independent and impartial as you are hypocrites. Because how long have I been calling upon you to come and then take this particular thing and air this matter for all South Africans to know what exactly is happening in the DOD? Chief Sandam, Nantole Betitag, Adjutant General, do your job. Ensure that that particular court, the likes of this particular chief of the South African National Defence Force, Flag Officer Fleet, Rear Admiral Mkondo, Rear Admiral Machimani, and Rear Admiral Fori, and Captain Lito come and account for their active actions that they do on daily basis. I am tired. I tell you. Skankrala nonsense.
So that is the reality of that particular matter. That is why after that, when you see on this particular video, when it comes to this reality, when it comes to this reality here, where is this one?
You
Yes, this
understand?
one.
You are taking my stuff
When we
out
come-
without my consent as to where it is going. I do not know. Currently, I find myself homeless with this document sitting here, even after the effort of showing these particular people the existence of this document. It must be known that
They
I
say
am
we're not
a
going to
lawyer.
argue with you.
I am just a normal person who is currently his own lawyer at this particular point in time. With that being said, you are sitting in a position where this thing, the first sentence of it, which is the beginning part of this particular document, it says this is a fairly comprehensive document which is fundamentally an application for leave to appeal the order made by the High Court to evict the first respondent. Now, you tell me if this is an affidavit having the stamps of all these particular official places, the chief of SANDF who is in official places, the chief of SANDF who is in 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 has sent these people and said to them that, listen,
the chief of the SANDF is directly appointed by the president in terms of section 13 of the Defense Act and functions in terms of section 14 of the Defense Act.
You must look after it.
How? In the street?
I don't know. It's not my responsibility.
But where are you putting?
It's not my responsibility. It's not my responsibility. It's not my responsibility. It's not my responsibility.
But,
It's not my responsibility.
but where are you putting it?
I'm putting it there in the street. 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 I'm putting it there in the street.
So you understand that this person came to take my stuff out of the house and then putting it on the street, while there is indeed a lawful document binding all others.
I'm putting it there in the street.
So I must look after it in the street. After it in the street. After it in the street. Okay. 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 You are
So those are the realities, good people. And when I go to the SAPS,
at this thing here. It says protect.
when we are at the streets now, before, you see now, what needs to happen in this reality is, let me go out of here, appeal the vexatious order. I know I have appealed it because it has a direct impact on this. And then it's not that I did not lodge an application to appeal it, good people, I have done so. And the reality is that people are acting as if I'm not doing anything in accordance with the Constitution and the law, just to maintain whatever issues that they want to maintain. Appeal, appeal, appeal. Where are you? There you go. Come here, appeal. Now, in this appeal, this is... where are you? So hiding from the people. There's appeal. Come here, appeal. This was the state that was achieved. A state that has broken many hearts of fellow South Africans and my loved ones. A state that breaks the heart of my grandmother as in now, even today. A state that is being maintained in any event I am denied access to court. A state that is aggravating in nature. A state in which no right in the Bill of Rights can be protected, respected, promoted, and fulfilled. My children are supposed to inherit this. My family is supposed to come and visit me here. I am supposed to be buried from here. My cultural practices are supposed to be done here. Ablutions facilities are supposed to be done here. Every other thing is supposed to be done here. As he has said, rightfully so, that listen, I'm putting it there.
With it from there.
I'm putting it there in the street. 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 I'm putting it there in I'm putting it there in the street. I'm putting it there in the street.
Want you to be clear of what was put on the street, and this is what was achieved. in the morning, the whole day, the community of Simonstown that respects me as a person, who is humble to all of them and friendly to all of them and neighborly to all of them. I am the only person there who would actually call all his white neighbors and say, come, let's bring and braai on the 16th of December and actually have fun with all the neighbors. They had to witness this. Where is human dignity in this regard? What am I saying to you when I say to you that the reality is that these particular terms of law are ignored with impunity? Where is the number one founding value in this regard? And that is what I demand from the state of the Republic of South Africa and the administration of the incumbent Cyril Ramaphosa. I demand this value. Number one, let's start with this value relative to this reality. Where is human dignity here? Kerawe Cyril Ramaphosa, where is human dignity more? Are you not the president? Are you not the commander-in-chief? Are you not the person who have sent this person to say exactly these particular terms that he has just said? That is Ramaphosa through this person.
So I must look after it in the street. Okay.
And you say, hi, Mangolele, what. Kuri, you are killing me for just doing my job when you are asked a simple question. Yahore, Emun, Kuri, now let's talk publicly so as we foster transparency through to the public. And when I say stop disrespecting me, that is like that. Don't disrespect me. It is my name, Sylvester Bulane Mangolele. When I ask you what kind of a boss are you who does not do his job, you throw me out on the streets. And you bribe judges, including the Chief Justice, everybody else, to make sure that no, Mangolele stays on the streets. And my people just keep on lying about Mangolele because he's on the streets. Why? Because there's no right that can be that in the Bill of Rights that can be protected. By simply asking you a simple, direct question.
What kind of a boss are you who does not do his job? What kind of a boss are you who does not do his job? What kind of a boss are you?
General solution, okay? Oh. What kind? Which one is this one? Which one? Which one is this boss? Hey, I'm boss, but I don't do my job.
Why do we spend sleepless nights doing our job? Spend sleepless nights doing our
No, I don't sleep, people. I work for the Republic of South Africa. For me to be this professional in conduct
This South Africa,
is doing this.
you are sitting there in your own office, not doing your job. Your own office, not doing your job. Your own office, not doing your job. 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 We call upon you to come and do your job. I, myself, call upon you.
When I say we call upon you, that's me and all my subordinates that I serve and defend as a senior. All of them. Any other person that is below the rank of lieutenant commander, that is who I speak on behalf. Because I am accountable to them. When now I in the middle of it, between my subordinates and my bosses, a distinction must be made. And a distinction was made. We call upon you. In fact, I call upon you.
To come and do your job. I'm not scared of you. I, myself, call upon you to come and do your job. I'm not scared of you. I, myself, call upon you.
You tell the chief defense, hey, I'm calling upon you to come do your job. He sends people, takes you out. So, that is literally what happens, good people. When people don't want to do their job, they influence others also not to do their jobs. And abuse of power is exactly that. It's exactly that. And that is exactly what I have been trying to stop, or what I have stopped from the very onset, in service and defense of my country and its people, in accordance with the Constitution and the law, with honor, dignity, courage and integrity. Because what you see there is courage burning in flames. What you see there is a subordinate saying to a senior, why are you not doing your job, sir? You would want to say it otherwise. Why are you not doing your job while we do our job? It is the same thing that any of my juniors would be asking me tomorrow, and it cannot be set as precedence that is lawful and constitutionally valid for a senior to respond in this matter in that manner. It is a cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment or punishment. It is contrary to the provisions of Section 12(1)(e) of the Constitution. A direct violation, direct assault, a gross misconduct. And to even make it worse, to the very, very, very core backbone, you do away with all my inalienable rights. When I come to court, they say, hey, you are vexatious. You are vexatious. You do not have any reasonable ground. You understand? That is what vexatious mean, and I will show you right now. You do not have any reasonable ground. Any reasonable ground. You institute legal proceedings in any court or any inferior court, whether against this person, Mangolelewe, you will stay there. That is what Mangolele is being told. And I do not know if my Leonard friend here would want to join us in our live convo and actually explain his feelings in relation to this particular matter. My brother, would you kindly, or you are not in the space of talking to the people in a live video, and then share your thoughts in the aggravating reality of the plaintiff? You may appear only in voice if you so wish, because of the other issues and other people that are involved here.
All I can say, this thing is plain and simple, and there's no reason for it to be dragging for so long. It's plain to see even an unlearned person can understand the terms. So it's just that people must play ball and remove personalities from functions, or employ functions instead of personalities, if I may put it. I think I've said it better.
And
that's where you start.
And you have correctly said it, so put it there. And I thank you for your valuable input, my brother. And then that is the reality that we are having. So when a person is asked, if you are not doing your job, such person now employs personalities. This person is saying, unless I'm a female, then I must act like a female. Unless I am like this, and then whereas this person has a responsibility to maintain discipline in the defense force and then ensure that discipline is done in accordance with the constitution and the law. And there is no way in the constitution and the law where it says a person must live as is on this particular picture. So that is what has transpired to this particular day. This is what people are doing, everything in their respective powers to make sure that it does not get corrected in accordance with the preamble of the Constitution, wherein we, the people of the Republic of South Africa, recognizes the injustices of our past and honor those who have suffered for freedom in our land, and do as we must do as contemplated in that preamble. It is that same terms that are on the burning flames of our constitutional court of the Republic of South Africa, our apex court. It says any other person, when they go there in any event, they will find that the duty of the Constitutional Court, which has said in any event I bear no reasonable prospects of success of coming out of this particular picture, of this picture that you have seen on your screen earlier, and then that issue is what needs to end. We need to build a society that everybody can be proud of, where oppression of one by another is not promoted as the founding values of our rainbow nation, when our father of the nation, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, has stood before millions in the world and is admired by millions in the world when he said, never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another and become a skunk of the world. The picture you have seen is one being a skunk of the world, and me currently being oppressed into such skunk state, intentionally and unlawfully so. This needs to come to an end. It must come to an end. I do not like going to court or talking about court. In fact, I like having fun. A lot of fun and laughing all the way, not talking serious or English and what. You should see me in my period of non-English, but everything English. In any event, good people, I thank you for your ear on these particular proceedings. And before I close in that, it is what started these things, and then I have directed it to Miss David. Miss David has sent an email to me and said, please may I remind you of the following. I have indicated that the court does not accept electronic filing of pleadings for issuing. We also cannot access documents sent on Facebook or other virtual or social media platforms. I have not seen a confirmation email from the Deputy Judge President giving you permission to litigate in the court. There is therefore no application issued by our office that I am aware of that can be set down. Dates for hearing are not set by the applicants unless it is an urgent application. As we are not in possession of an actual application, we are not sure that it is an urgent application. Please note that the parties cannot set down applications to be heard virtually of their own accord without following the rules and directives relevant to the court. We shall await further direction from the Deputy Judge President as to whether this application is to be heard despite the above procedure having not been followed. And then that was when I sent, it was a response an hour after I have sent a notice of set down to court. Remember, as much as I have the phone numbers of court, as much as I have the emails of court, court administration in terms of file must happen. each and every time you set down the matter on file, you must observe the rules of court. You must sit down, type, do the homework diligently as obligated in terms of section 237 of the Constitution, and do so without delay, and then have a leg to stand on like any other party that comes to court and say, hey, I have this particular application which I require it to be dealt with in terms of section 34 of the Constitution, which obligates that any person can bring any dispute that can be resolved by the application of law decided before a court, or where appropriate another independent and impartial tribunal such as the National Assembly, which is also doing everything in its power to maintain a state that is derogatory to the Constitution and the law. This is the email that I have just read you, coming from Renee Davis, and then that is what she is saying. She is indeed the chief registrar, and then I want you as the public and my family to be aware of this particular reality, and don't be shy of the longness of the videos. Hey, in court we talk for weeks. Go read the Long Walk to Freedom and see how many thousands and thousands of documents and how many thousands and thousands of terms have been argued. What. Don't think in court we shesha. No. When we follow due legal procedure, as you have seen earlier, when my learned friend here, the senior counsel, was addressing a matter in when he was addressing a matter, the state versus Jacob Zuma, that is what had happened. You understand, these councils are given their time and they talk as much as they talk.
Then impartiality, and then it puts sub points there. And then criminal proceedings and so on. So it will just assist. I must just point out D under impartiality, avoid participation in political or other activities which may prejudice or be perceived to their independence and impartiality. And this is the point that Mr. Masuku was making yesterday. Involvement of Mr. Downer in that case of the DA.
You see, so here you are allowed to explain and then explain as I am explaining to you. So do not be thinking that no, Madala Ubua Tata, that is how things are done, good people. And now, I have responded to Ms. Davis and said, Ms. Davis, addressing paragraph 1. And then I've addressed that particular paragraph 1 where she says, I have indicated that the court does not accept electronic filings of pleadings for issuing. We cannot access documents sent from Facebook or other virtual or social media platforms. I said, electronic filing is summarily dealt with in your own practice directives, and you shall abide by the practice directive issued by the Judge President Hlophe, as you have done in the past. I do believe that we are still in the COVID-19 pandemic. In the event you do not follow your own practice directives, kindly do not expect me to follow them. Kindly do not expect me to follow them. And in the event I am wrong, please forward me your current practice directives so that we have a common point of reference in future. Until then, Ms. David, you shall accept electronics filing and fulfill the obligations imposed in terms of section 1951C of the Constitution, which provides that public administration must be development oriented. What is on Facebook is not documents, but videos through which everyone in the Republic and the world can see your efforts as the registrar to ensure that justice is delayed. Please remember that justice delayed is justice denied. And Ms. David, By blocking me with serious intentions as you are only supporting the criminal activity, corruption, apartheid, or the misconduct which brings me to court in service and defense of my country and its people, and you must desist from doing that. In the event you have technological difficulties such as simply clicking on a link and watch, kindly ask for assistance from any other competent person in the interest of justice. I have not seen a confirmation email from the Deputy Judge President giving you permission to litigate in the court. There is therefore no application issued by our office that I am aware of that can be set down. You will not see a confirmation email from any person giving me permission to litigate. Not when it is true that everyone has a right to have any dispute that can be resolved by the application of law decided in a fair public hearing before a court, or where appropriate, another independent and impartial tribunal or forum as obligated in terms of Section 34 of the Constitution. The other thing is that I do not obey a manifestly illegal order which wants me to believe that I was heard or granted an opportunity of being heard on 14 September 2018, as obligated in terms of Section 21B of the Vexatious Proceedings Act. Dates for hearing are not set by the applicants unless it is an urgent application. As we are not in position of actual application, we are not sure that it is an urgent application. Ms. David, in this regard, you are very confused, or you are deliberately trying to confuse me in suppression of the truth or defeating the ends of justice. Kindly note that each and every mail you send me is read by millions of people around the world, and you must stop embarrassing yourself by saying that things as if you are not the chief registrar of a high court in South Africa. It seems as if you do not know your job very well, and I think you must come stay at home as your actions are forcing me, and I shall come do your job there. I have said this to you before, Miss Davids. You are not a judge and must not respond to me on matters that are on the level of judges. Ask your colleagues to educate you about what is a notice of set down and who would be in actual possession of the actual application. I trust that Elmarie Savers and the Deputy Judge President have all that they need to uphold the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law. Ms. Davids, in my personal view, you are evil towards me, my children, family, country and its people, and are promoting the suffering of Nyeko Mangolele and Aluta Songelwa by openly supporting criminal activity, corruption, apartheid or misconduct that leads people to want to believe that I was heard on 14 September 2018 by Davis J, while the reality is that I was never heard, and all your records at security shall indicate to you or any other person that I was nowhere near the premises of the Western Cape High Court. Davis J is a crook being supported by all those who believe that I was, in terms of Section 21B of the Vexatious Proceedings Act, heard or granted an opportunity of being heard before making the order on 14 September. Please note that the parties cannot just set down application to be heard virtually of their own accord and without following the rules and directives relevant to the court. I have followed all rules of court in any event, and when you beread yourself of the evil in you that makes you happy to see another African being unlawfully and intentionally oppressed as I am, you shall notice that none of the parties employed you to speak on their behalf. You are the registrar in this equation and not a qualified person who who know what Section 18 of the Superior Court Act means or entails relative to the rules of court. We shall await further direction from the Deputy Judge President to whether the application be heard despite the above procedures having not been followed. The matter must be heard in accordance with its terms for the sake of your own children or any other child or person in the Republic of South Africa who is free from slavery. In the event you want to continue to live and struggle, strive, or attempt for freedom in South Africa, your land, please do not involve me in that slavery. I serve and defend my country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and with honor, courage, and integrity. If you do not understand that simple fact, please stop doing everything in your power to tell me how this matter will not be heard. I would like to remind you that you have lied to me and all people in the Republic of South Africa to say that there is a court order that says I must ask for permission from Judge President Hlophe while there is none. And that has caused harm to other security personnel as a result of your abuse of power in support of criminal activity, corruption, apartheid, or misconduct. And because of that, you must henceforth recuse yourself from dealing with me until this matter is heard. It is clear to see that, Miss David, you are evil and want my children, family, country, and its people to suffer as a result of an unlawful and intentional misrepresentation that causes actual or potential prejudice to Sylvester Volane Mangolele as a senior officer in the South African National Defence Force who fully understands Section 21B of the Vexatious Proceedings Act. If I was not a man of God, I would make an application to have you removed from your position for simply putting on record that there is a court order which says that I must ask for permission from Judge President Hlophe, while you know it to be true that there is no such. I do not do that simply because I think about your dignity as a person, your children, if you have any. Because by the look of your evil towards Nyiko Mangolele and Aluta Songelwa as my children, you do not strike me as a person with parental responsibilities and rights to make sure that her children do not live and struggle for freedom in South Africa, our land, and your family and all your loved ones. I am not a stupid person who punish other people for crimes committed by Davis J and others. Miss David, next time you see my papers, press print and file them accordingly and send them to an urgent judge as you are obligated by your mandate, and refrain from blocking me in the interest of justice. I have a country and its people to serve and defend in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and the judicial authority of the Republic is vested in the courts. See Section 165(1) of the Constitution, if you do not believe me for that matter. I must actually come and offer you and your staff lessons on how to deal with unrepresented accused persons with the respect they deserve. Because it actually takes guts and a serious situation for any person to elect to represent themselves in court, and such notion must be promoted in order to fight poverty in our country. People like you, Miss Davis, and the Honorable Mangu Lockwood J thinks that justice is only for people with money, and that is not the case. Justice is for all people. I have serious teachings to offer to people like you who look down on other people and think that they are not equal before the law. I can go on all day telling you about the evil you have done, Mrs. David, but I will stop here. then proceed to put this mail on video live on Facebook and YouTube for the whole world to know what I have said to the Chief Registrar of the Western Cape High Court. The matter must be heard and shall be heard because the Constitution is the supreme law of the Republic. Law or conduct inconsistent with it is invalid, and the obligations imposed by it must be fulfilled. Send me the copy of the recent practice directives and show me where it says I cannot set the time, date, or direction for the matter to be heard virtually in those practice directives. It must be explicit that Sylvester Wolane Madala Mangolele is not to be treated as an equal person before the law and must not be heard like other equal persons before the law. I am sure, Ms. David, you will be pleased to forward me a copy that says so. The next email will be a video link detailing all I have written on this email. I am tired of being taken for granted as if I am not an equal person before the law, and send fire upon the evil that perpetually stops this matter from being heard in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. I only fear God and fear nothing else, but respect all. I trust I find you well. Amen. Papa Oteng. Thanking you. And that is true. I have said that, and then right now I will come out of air so that I can be able to retrieve this video link and email it to the parties accordingly. And in that note, Nyiko Mangolele, my son, your father is busy. Aluta Songelwa, your father is extremely busy. I miss you, my children. Kukuma Machila, Kia Horata, I miss you a lot. And everybody else who has taken care of me to this date, I thank all of you. I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. Yes, I am hungry today. I do not have any money today. I do not have a phone with me. I do not have any recourse other than this particular video and all the emails I am sending to the respective parties for my salary to be paid. And people just want me to die so that people can continue to live and struggle for freedom in South Africa, our land. Let there be true in words. Let words have meaning. Let us all be responsible for our respective actions, and let us all unite, come together to live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. Good people, Papa Oteng.